Welcome back to our daily journey through World War II for the past week. The world has watched as Germany's blitzkrieg swept through Poland. Now the war is about to arrive at the doorstep of one of Europe's great capitals. Today, we're covering the key events of September 8, 1939, a day that brought the full horror of modern warfare to the streets of Warsaw. 7 days into the invasion, the German advance was relentless. At 5 p.m., the first German armored units reached the outskirts of Warsaw. With no time for formal preparations, the Polish capital found itself suddenly under siege. The city's defenders, a mix of Polish army regulars and newly formed citizen militias, were determined to hold the line. The Wehrmacht had expected a swift surrender, but they were met with fierce resistance. The Polish command had ordered all available forces to defend the city. Soldiers and armed civilians dug in, creating barricades and defensive positions from whatever they could find. They were outgunned and outnumbered, but they were fighting for their homes and families. The fight for Warsaw had begun, and it would be a long, brutal affair. While the battle for the capital was just beginning, the fighting raged on across the country. In the Battle of the Bzura, the largest counterattack of the campaign, Polish forces continued their desperate struggle against the German Eighth Army. Though they had achieved some initial success, they were now being encircled by German forces and the Luftwaffe. It was an incredibly brave effort, but the sheer speed and power of the German advance was proving to be an overwhelming force. The Polish campaign was not just a ground war. The German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, continued its bombing campaign, targeting cities, railways, and anything that could support the Polish defense. The Polish Air Force, despite its valiant efforts, was largely destroyed in the opening days of the war, leaving the skies open for German bombers to strike with devastating effect. The situation was becoming clearer to the rest of the world. In London, the British government began to prepare for a long war. The evacuation of children, mothers, and other vulnerable civilians from major cities was now in full swing, with over 1.5 million people being moved to the countryside. It was a massive logistical effort and a clear sign that Great Britain expected heavy German bombing in the future. Meanwhile, the United States maintained its official neutrality, but the public was becoming increasingly aware of the brutal reality of the war. Newsreels and radio broadcasts brought the shocking images and stories of the invasion to American homes. While the United States wasn't ready to enter the conflict, the events in Europe were forcing the nation to confront the fact that it could not remain an isolated observer forever. And that's just day 8. The siege of Warsaw would last 4 weeks, with the city's defenders fighting heroically against impossible odds. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens as the fighting intensifies and the world starts to realize the true nature of this new kind of warfare. If you found this informative and interesting, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you found most surprising about the siege of Warsaw. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.